Hi everyone, I'm Ginger Carlson, and this is Get Thirsty. I wonder what would happen if we convene over here at LifeSchool, gather around the table with those who don't have expectations, assume a posture of trust, and realize that relationships are everywhere. Glow into our shared soul, friends, and let us bring our hypocrisy into the spotlight. Maybe there's a collection of learnings here. Welcome to the original Get Thirsty podcast series, where we will explore the art and science of what can replenish, realign, and prepare you for the next great step on your journey. Get Thirsty inspires your lust for life so that you can create, do, and be more. And thrive undivided. This season is a 6-part series designed to prepare you to meet your one and only indispensable partner, your soul, so you can make the next great decision, take the next great step. I am your host, Dr. Ginger Carlson. I'm an academic and C-suite educational leader turned life alchemist, someone who dares to awaken to life's inevitable changes and challenges and takes deliberate action to transform their experience into a new reality. And oh yeah, I am a bona fide thirsty soul. I believe in going after what we want and doing it with passion, even when fear or naysaying might get in the way. And I also believe that the universe does not make mistakes. We'll talk about signs in a later episode, how to just know when a decision you've made or are about to make is the correct one. But for now, just know that if you are here, you landed here for a reason, and I am so honored that you have joined me. As we get into this podcast, I want to talk a little bit about the format right away. Each episode is designed deliberately to be short, actionable, and inspiring for you. The science tells us clearly what the brain can handle in one sitting, and that means in about 5 to 7 minutes, you will get a dose of science and research and a bit of art that will hopefully do 2 things for you. Number 1, to shine a light on your awareness of something you hadn't considered before. And then 2, light a little fire under you to take an action. Along with the latest research in flow theory, I will be sharing original poetry with you that illustrates each lesson. Like I said, science to keep the work grounded in what the research tells us, what we know works, and art that allows you a little white space to consider what is best for you. It's your journey, you get to choose. All towards thriving, despite being sometimes divided. So I am a social scientist by training, educational background, and in my work, but I also consider myself an artist in practice. As I mentioned, the art you will find woven in here among story, research, and lessons is original poetry, what I like to think of as deliberate white space. Now, if you think about it, language is our structured convention for communication. It's the system by which we convey ourselves to each other. And poetry is actually a human language art form. And when you weave together words in ways that blur those conventions, we get a truly aesthetic experience. It blends the cognitive, which is the brain, and the artistic, what I like to think of as the expression of our soul. So these are the new seeds of our thinking, watered and nurtured by our research discoveries, blossoming into some new ways of looking at our old challenges. Now, one uncredited definition of poetry that I adore is that a poem is a thought caught in the act of dawning. I'll say that again, a thought caught in the act of dawning. That is a poem. Like being able to witness a brand newly woven sunrise of the soul with each new combination of words that we put together. All in this experience of really coming into our humanness, finding our flow and getting us through the places where we find ourselves wanting to be more, wanting to do more, to take risks, to courageously craft something new. or pursue a new direction in our life. Now, we humans need these kinds of experiences so we can touch the center of ourselves, our souls. It allows us to be closer to who we are, to not have all the answers, but know that the soul knows. And so we better darn well listen. And the intersection of this kind of art and the science that will be shared here brings new meaning to our new steps and our next steps. It's different from reading straight research or reports. This white space, our thoughts caught in the act of dawning, allows us, offers us, gives us space to breathe. And this is the language of living. It mirrors our humanness. So that's what you will find here. A little bit of white space, a little bit of breathing among the research. So you can lean into your integrity, create the intention for something new in your life, find the inspiration to take the next baby step, and then innovate in our world the way you feel most called to. This season, we'll be getting into how to identify yourself at a crossroad, what to do when you do recognize yourself there. We'll also be practicing paradox, which is holding two opposing ideas at once. And among other things, learning about connecting our soul and role. I like to say that travel is fun with friends, so bring them along if you want to. And there's also so much value in taking a solo journey sometimes too. However you choose to join me, I am so honored you are here. So here's one of my favorite bits of white space to leave you with today as we begin the journey. And it goes like this. Get thirsty for the things above your head. A small sip of surrender is worth saying yes to. Get thirsty. That's your desire, your motivation being connected to your why. For the things above your head, the spirituality, what we don't know, what lives outside of our physical bodies. A small sip of surrender. That's letting go and leaning in and learning to trust and taking baby steps. Is worth saying yes to. This art of allowing, this positivity in our life, being open and making connections. Get thirsty for the things above your head. A small sip of surrender is worth saying yes to. I hope that you love this experience. Please head over to my website, gingercarlson.com/podcast for the show notes and for today's episode. And I will see you in the next episode of Get Thirsty. Cheers.